And we're back. 0.3.1 is out for around a week now, and it addressed a lot of the community's concerns. But first, let me state, all the gameplay and conclusions are taken from playing hard or veteran difficulty in Arc Defense mode, with all three classes and with all of them leveled up to level 20. I did have a string of bad luck with a lot of night battles in a row, but the points still remain true. I will be addressing the overall state of gameplay on this game mode and its difficulty after the update, and then going over some community suggestions plus some of my own on some aspects lacking or in need of some degree of change for it to improve. These are ultimately a result of my own opinion, whether in selecting the ones by the community or my personal ones, so it's normal some might not agree with them. Anyway, let's get into it. This update saw a lot of new balancing corrections, mutation adjustments, and overall gameplay fixes. I can honestly say the hard difficulty is back to a playable and enjoyable state. Some of the mutators have been balanced for the better, and the guns do feel a little bit more satisfying to use, although there are still some issues on these points. Let's talk first about extermination missions or countering bug patrols. I am happy the previous iterations of them on patch 0.3.0 were an unintended bug and have been corrected. We now have 5 minutes to deal with them and with the frequency needed. There are a couple of suggestions I personally would like to have them implement. First, change the behavior of the patrol. Now, they spawn when you get to within 100 meters of them and will continue to do so as long as at least one player remains within those 100 meters. Then they will naturally make their way towards the base. This can be cheesed, as you can place a hunter high on walls or cliffs, triggering the spawns, and then have a team nearer to the base getting the kills on the approaching mob. I would personally like to see it changed. You see, during the preparation stage, when we get the ore, gas, and build up the base, the only equipment actually making seismic waves and alerting the bugs are the refineries. To this fact, I would like the patrols to spawn and then move towards the refineries that are built and operating, as they are the only detectable disturbance around, not the Arc, still not powered on. I feel this would make holding the refineries more of a challenge when you don't have a team triggering and fighting the patrol, just a hunter, and would place a lot of extra pressure on those refineries to keep them up. Same thing for grenadiers. They currently target the nearest player build structure, but they should not be aware of the player's buildings at base, only the disturbance of the refineries while the Arc is not on. Also, if they do not have visual on the structure they are targeting, it should work more like indirect artillery and be a lot less accurate. These changes would make defending refineries more challenging, because if you stand too close, you would get blown up by a grenadier shot that missed its target. The patrols would swarm them if they get to them, contributing to the importance of a dedicated team to intercept and deal with the patrols quickly and not let any bugs through and jeopardize the ore and gas production. Then we have the ambushes, and here I just have a quick suggestion. See, if I was a bug, I would personally dedicate more bugs to ambushes in the built-up areas than out in the desert. These built-up areas have been proven to have humans in the past, some for multiple times, as it is easier in general to build and repair than to build from scratch. The first option still gives you some cover and protection from the bugs while the work is happening. The second means total exposure for a long period of time to even small attacks from the bugs. Following this logic, I would like for ambushes outside the built-up areas to be cut in half. Plus, have an exclusion zone around the patrols of at least 200 meters. Following logic here, if the bugs are dedicating resources to a patrol, why on earth would they place an ambush 50 meters from that patrol? It makes no sense. And this happens a lot. I would believe these changes would not require a lot to happen and would contribute to more immersive gameplay. Now let's go back to the beginning and talk about the start of the match. I understand the importance of quick action in getting the player fast into a match, but personally, I would appreciate a lobby. Somewhere to pre-deploy for maybe 1 minute, talk to each other, assign the different squads to different jobs, and then deploy all together. I would gladly wait for an extra 1 to 2 minutes to get in this lobby and have the chance to talk and coordinate with the other players before the round actually starts, and I have seen many comments suggesting the same, similar to what we have in Squad. It would promote squad play and overall communication and teamwork between the players. Right now, we have a lot of miscommunication or silence. Plus, we are the vanguard. There is no way in hell we would deploy before at least organizing the squads, the tasks, and especially not all together. Rico says to his roughnecks, "Come on, you apes, do you want to live forever?" Only to notice the dropship is still empty and has to wait for the others to slowly arrive over the next 5 minutes. We cannot have a discussion on how to improve the game without talking about the elephant in the room. Gas. Please, OWI, have the gas refinery drop at least a few minutes after the ore ones do. Please. I am sick and tired of trolls and noobs going straight to the gas and ruining the match for everyone else by getting it way too soon. This would never happen in the Vanguard. They would drop us in, we would clear the Ark landing spot, drop the Ark, then the ore refineries so we could get started on building the base, then drop the gas after a while or after we built a certain number of structures. It makes no sense to drop the most game-affecting thing first, or even to suggest it first in the missions. Please fix it, for the love of the Federation. Arrange the missions in the order they should be completed in. Protect the Ark, get the ore, exterminate patrols, resource caches, then the signal boosters, and last, and always last, should be the gas. Oh, and one more thing, and this one I accept it can take a while to make, but please give us the means to exchange our loadouts. The Ark locations are very diverse in their needs and possibilities. Maybe I want the chem grenade for one location, but I want the scan beacon for the other. Maybe having the marksman rifle at night is not so good and I want to swap for the carbine. Or maybe I want to get the rocket launcher but store it and only use it for the last fight or in a horde if we get to level 5 infestation. Plus, with having more weapons and others in the future, it would make sense to be able to do that. Perhaps the spawn point could be a loadout or storage system for the rocket launcher. You can figure it out. But for me personally, this feature would be a great plus to have. Overall, I am very pleased with this update and still very excited for the future of this game, especially as they progress along their roadmap and cannot wait for the next content update. It seems they're listening to the community and also realizing when it maybe went too far and need to pull it back a few notches. Finding the correct balance in the gameplay is always hard, but for now, even with the ups and downs, OWI are chugging along in a satisfying way. How about yourself? Are you happy with the update? Do you agree with some of the suggestions put forward here? Do you have some of your own? Leave it in the comments below, just please be respectful. Leave a like, subscribe, thanks for watching, have a great day. Oh my god, roll the file fucking loads, Jesus.
The base is under attack.
Woo! 2 tigers! North of base!